You know the workflow. You finish your recording sessions and now you're sitting in your DAW with dozens of files that all need to be leveled out. Sonable's Pure Level is really going to save you some time here. In a very natural way, it can both level out a single instance across a really massive range of possible target levels, but you can also link up multiple instances to have multiple tracks at the same output level automatically. So the first thing I want to show you is what it sounds like on a single instance. And I got this vocal track right here. Just by looking at the waveform, I can see there is some huge level discrepancies here.
Da-dee-doo, la-dee-da-dee-doo, la-dee-da-dee-doo-doo-doo.
So I'm throwing on Pure Level, and then as the plugin is instructing me, I'm going to start the playback and click the record button. Wait a few seconds for the analysis. Alright, and it's already working away. These louder parts have the gain decreased. The quieter parts in the back have the gain increased. Nice. The other two things I can change are the intensity, and that's going to change just how much level riding is happening, and I can change the speed. So the smart thing that's going on here is essentially a two-stage process. The first thing that happens is I press the Analyze button, and Pure Level analyzes my input signal, analyzes the medium input level of my signal, and will stabilize around that by level riding. And I can see this in the interface by looking where this gray circle turns green. So this is where the input level was. And I can see the input riding going on in this meter, and also by looking at this curve. And then it's adding a static gain on top of that to get to whatever target dB I've selected. So in practice, this means as a first step, I have this very delicate input riding that is not going to do anything bad to my dynamics, it's not going to cause any distortion or anything. And then as a second step, I have this gain offset that means that I can go from minus 60 target dB to something like, I think -5 is the max. But let's look at a more interesting scenario. I have 3 vocals here, all from the same recording session. Just by looking at the waveform, I can tell vocal 3 is really, really high level. Maybe there was an equipment change, maybe someone bumped into the input gain slider, something happened and I gotta fix it now. So I'm adding an instance of Pure Level to every track. I can go in here and I can use this drop down to tell every instance, okay, I want this to be part of group 1, but I can also go into this matrix view where every single instance is going to be listed that's in my project. And I can say, okay, group 1, I want vocal 1 in there, I want vocal 2 in there, I want vocal 3 in there. And you can see this has already updated in all of these instances. And then I'm going to do the same thing again, start the playback, press on this green button that is going to start the analyzing for all of the instances in this group 1.
We fall,
takes a little bit of time.
We go, a door
they're all at the same level.
Corridor, a door to the second floor, 'cause we stand up tall. We fall.
But of course, this also means all of these target dBs are now synced up. So if I want them, all of them to be a little bit louder, easy. I can also, with this group feature, I can do what I want to call maybe lazy mixing. For this project, I've already settled on my rhythm instruments. So my drums and my bass are already pretty happy with that. And now I want to choose between 3 options for my main melody instrument. So I've got this acoustic guitar, got this electric guitar, I got the synthesizer. And as I was playing these, no doubt you noticed that the synthesizer is really loud and the electric guitar is very quiet. But no worries, I've already put Pure Level on all 3 of these. If I unbypass them, I think we can really hear what's going on. And now if I want to choose between these 3 main instruments, I can have the acoustic guitar. Maybe I'm thinking, this is possibly a little too loud, turn it down a little bit. And all 3 of these are going to be turned down. So if I solo the E-guitar, it's going to sound pretty similar to what the acoustic guitar sounded like. And the same goes for the synthesizer. That was Pure Level. I think a lightweight but also really helpful tool. If you want to check out a 30-day trial, go to sonable.com.